Kelby turns into a church mouse as soon as I say, "Okay, we're starting the stream." Kelby, you can breathe now.
Who's supposed to talk first?
I want to know where Chris is at, because I know Chris watches our Facebook. He's probably on mobile.
Are we live right now?
Yes, very much live.
Okay, then I won't talk about this.
I kind of want to hear myself.
Play the intro read.
I want to wait for people to get in the comments. That's what I want. I want to see some little peoples in there. Where's all of our Critgamer fans? And before we even talk about news, we have to talk about our LAN. I mean, that would be pretty bad if we're just like straight to the news. Don't even talk about our LAN at all.
What is this LAN you speak of?
I
think we should tell them how much they're gonna miss out on DreamHack. Is totally going, and it's gonna be fun.
Click, 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 click.
You love my clack clack?
Oh, it's the sound of a million
My brain hurts.
ice shards hitting your brain.
My brain hurts so bad. Oh my god!
I really think you need to get a mechanical keyboard, Kelby.
See this thinness? See that? See that right there? I
so,
like that.
Doesn't mean
so
anything.
It's great.
So mushy.
Nor do mechanical keyboards. I don't like them. They're built on. They are designed by little Yoshi.
Don't you be talking bad about my
want
mechanical
to
keyboards.
annoy me.
Actually, they're what keyboards how they were originally made. So yeah.
Very true, but I don't like them. So
He's a crazy head.
I am. I'm super crazy.
But we love you anyways.
Alright,
Alright, we're here. Andrew Kelby Taylor for Critgamer Tech Chat. January 14th, 2016. Just let me finish, Kelby. God, you gotta interrupt me. Everything.
First
Jeez.
you tell me not to talk, and then you tell me to talk. And what do you want, Taylor?
I don't know what I
What do you want from me?
I do have to turn off notifications for Discord because apparently they're all on. Go turn them off so nobody can see who's talking to me. Andrew.
I moved my camera a little.
Oh man. Well, it's been an interesting week. It's been very busy. And we had a good LAN. If you didn't come, you need to come to the next one, which is in April sometime. Once we have a date nailed down, we will be contacting you via Facebook and Critgamer's website, and possibly Twitter, and or Facebook.
April
if
the
you're
blank.
April the blank. Put it on your calendar. We're gonna have a great LAN.
Possibly a Saturday night. So
Yes.
let us know what you think about that.
And we're possibly talking about extended hours, so that's a thing.
Starting earlier, you know.
And leaving at the same time. We're not gonna stay later, sadly. We want to, but
So you won't be as sleepy by the end of the time.
right. But yeah, we had a great LAN. A lot of people showed up. We partied hardy. We gave out some prizes. We actually had somebody from Lafayette, Louisiana, come and see us. That'd be our boy Chris. And if he's watching, hello. And we want y'all to blow up the chat. We're using some different type of setup for our stream. So if you just let us know how it is, volume adjustments, blah blah blah. We're not Linus Tech Tips, and we're not high end, streamers. We need the feedback.
I think we are high end. I mean,
Well, aren't
but,
you? Aren't you, Fancy Bear?
that high tech setup you got over there?
You mean my Thunderdome of infinite monitors?
You need to do a setup video one time.
See, well, once I get that monitor mount from Grant, I think I'll be good. Because then I'm like, oh, I don't care. I have 7 monitors. They'll all fit on one mount. Cool. And then just go. But yeah, I probably do.
I thought he was bringing that to the land for you.
He was, but then he had 10 million other things that he had to bring. So I told him I'd go find him and go get him next time. But yeah, so our LAN was great. Please go visit our website, critgamer.com. We have a Facebook. I show that we have a Google Plus over there, but that we don't check that. I mean, if you want to make us laugh, go follow us on Google Plus. You can go do that, whatever. And YouTube for all backlogs, so that way you can watch. We are working on editing some footage from the LAN so that we can put that on YouTube.
Where's the pictures from the LAN? Are they up?
They're up, but nobody's put them anywhere other than they're in the Google Drive. So those will be posted to Facebook as well. Y'all go tag yourselves and say, "Oh, that's me right there." And we'll probably have those up by the end of the evening, Mr. Kelby.
I think we need one as our cover photo. I think that would just bring light into our darkness.
Well, you go work on that.
I am gonna go do that right now while we are streaming.
I'll upload the pictures, the main set. I've already got it going.
And I'll stream.
All right, and now a word from our CEO, Mr. Kelby.
Mr. Kelby. Greetings, fellow gamers.
Quarterly profits were down.
actually, they're up.
No,
you know.
actually, we've done pretty well, and I'm happy to report that Critgamer is doing well, and we plan to expand and grow and unite the gaming revolution.
Can you share with them our 5-year plan?
Negative.
Our 5-year plan is
vote denied
to be in a better spot.
We want to grow.
There are no details. Contact my office at something.
1-800-CRITGAMER. But don't call that.
800. Yeah, don't call that.
You may get put on a watch list.
Yeah.
Anyway, so go to our website, go to our Facebook. Jeez Louise, Rick. I mean, Andrew, sorry.
Morty.
I'm gonna roll the intro.
Let's do it.
Yay! Intros!
Such a fantastic intro.
Alright, so we actually talked about this a while back, but I guess Seagate's just trying to raise their little solid state drive, or hard drive number to 10 terabytes with some helium powered hard drives.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that?
I think they're desperately trying to stay in the market. The pricing is horrible. But I mean, comparatively to the solid state drive that we've got on the list that we're going to talk about next.
What are 8 terabyte drives priced here recently?
For enterprise grade, you're about $400, I believe.
And so,
which is the comparison to this, 'cause it's an enterprise drive. You can get an 8 terabyte. What did we find them for the other day, Kelby? Were they 209?
Yeah, that's the archive cold storage drives. Yeah, you can get them at right around 209, 230, and they're strictly for archiving purposes. I think we've read that they only carry a 180 terabytes read per year that they would support.
What?
Let me pull that up really fast. Yeah, they don't recommend that you do that. They're not for active storage because the speeds as you access them, it really depreciates quite a bit. So it's for pulling stuff off.
I think the article we read, they were saying that the speeds were really great for the first 8 or 16 gigs you write to it, and as you write more gigs, like sequential data, the speed significantly drops down to around 20 megabytes a second. So the drop is really, really fast and steep for any kind
Right.
of.
It says engineered for 24/7 workloads of 180 terabytes per year, and you'll experience optimized burst performance designed for archive storage, such as cost-effective online archiving, object storage, big data, and cold storage.
Man.
So
I mean,
nothing else.
180 terabytes of reading and writing over a year is a lot of data.
Yeah.
I mean, that's writing the whole drive how many times? It's an 8. What is 180
8.
divided by
Yeah,
8?
that's quite a bit of times.
I mean, you're looking at writing the whole hard drive 22, 23 times. I mean,
Jeez.
that's... You say, it's only X amount of reading and writing, but that's a pretty significant amount.
So yeah, do y'all think that Seagate's going to continue to try to bump the number up for the hard drives, or do you think they're going to hit a peak?
They're going to have to. They're going to have to. I mean, we thought a while back that the 1 terabyte of platter was the limit, and we hit the 6 terabyte limit, and so they've gone with the current design, the Schmeckled or SMR disc. I don't know what it's just Schmeckel.
Schmeckel disc.
25 Schmeckles.
25 Schmeckel space disc. Kelby has no idea what we're talking about.
I
Yeah,
have
it does.
no idea.
You should.
What is
It's a
Rick and Morty
Rick and Morty.
reference.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I only watched it in one take.
His
and that
brain's
was
turned
it.
off today.
My brain is turned off today. I thought we were talking about hard drives.
We were.
We were.
the Schmeckel drive.
Remember, Schmeckles is a lot of money. Like, nothing to be joked about. Even though we're joking about it. Anyways, well, yeah, these are cool. Enterprise capacity, so I mean... You're not...
I want to see I really want to see the price on them. I mean, that's going to be interesting.
Right.
To see what a 10 terabyte is. I want to see those prices drop to, reasonable for me to buy one. I would love to put a 10 terabyte drive in my home server.
Right. I think we
So
all
how much
live
are
with
those? $800?
They haven't released a price. The 8 terabytes are around 400.
it. I would
so
assume they're 800 or more. Or even possibly the high range of 1200.
I don't know. That seems too much of a jump. Why would you go with an 8 terabyte disk when you can get a 10 terabyte for double the price for 2 terabytes more? Why not just buy two 6 terabytes? I mean, when you look at the pricing, they've got to keep in line. I wouldn't expect it more than probably $500 to $700 at most.
Right.
We should have pictures up of the land now. If anyone wants to go check it out. Lots of candid photos there for people.
Oh, you uploaded the whole directory? Okay.
Yep.
107? Dang. I didn't know we had that many.
Yeah, man. Don't be hating.
We are just...
So if you're on the stream, go check yourself out. Got 113 photos up on Facebook from the event.
That's awesome.
Just a question. I don't know if we should... should we do watermarks on these or not? Are we alright with that?
We can do
Nah,
it-
I
we
don't.
can do it later. I mean,
Okay.
I have to do watermarks now.
Well, good job. Yeah, you guys can go look at those.
Well, here's another one.
Oh, the 13 terabyte drive?
This kind of blows what we just talked about out of the water a little bit.
So the largest on the market spinning disk drive right now is 10 terabytes. But if you've got a measly 12 grand, 13 grand, you can. I think they have the price there. 13 grand. You can send it to a no-name company that I've never heard of. And
You never heard of Fixstars?
No. Their CEO says it's going to be great, but who can trust the CEO?
Yeah, right.
Well, I think that that is a little bit too early to market for something like that. I think that, That's quite expensive. That's $1,000. What is it? $12,000? 13,000?
I think it's
Dang.
13.
$1,000 a terabyte. That is way, way beyond. You could buy, well, I don't know. That just way out of anybody's price range, except if you're like an enterprise video editing company that just needs
Yeah,
13
but
terabytes of SSD storage
at that point,
per drive.
at that point, you get to the point where you're like, okay, I need fast hard drives. Okay, why not just SSDs in a RAID? You know, I mean, we've got 2 terabyte drives. You put them in. I mean, most places that are going to be able to spend 13 grand on an SSD are going to have the infrastructure already to support an array of SSDs.
Right.
I mean, you could put, what, 12 to 14 2.5-inch drives in a 1U now. I mean, you fill that up with 2 terabyte drives, which I think 2 terabytes run about $1,000, don't they?
Let's take a look. Really
Yeah.
I think enterprise grade ones run about $2 grand, about $1,000.
Yeah, I remember the one that Kirk put in his machine, or that big installation they did. That
Yeah.
was like $6 grand for what, a 4 terabyte? Was it a 4 terabyte or 6 terabyte?
I think those were 4 terabytes he had. Here's a SanDisk Eco Optima for $1,700. So I mean, if you've got 13 grand to spend, and you need speed, so you're putting this in, like, say a SAN that holds, that, you know, runs VMs on a virtual host or something like that. You would want more drives anyways instead of larger drives. So you'd want higher read, you know. I can't see anyone who would buy that. I can't see the reasoning behind it.
I think it's
If
a
you're looking,
marketing
My question
thing.
is this even a viable solution for enterprise still? I mean, I understand that SSDs are the way of the future, but is it still a concern for the enterprise in general that, I mean, you know, it's an electrical piece of equipment. There's no moving parts. Yes, there are benefits to that. But the other side of that is, if it gets shocked or if something happens to it, it's gone. So
yeah, but that's the same thing with, you know, I've heard that argument before, but that's the same thing with a spinning drive. If it gets shocked hard enough, you're going to lose the data. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, it still has a platter that data's written to that you can pull from at some point. I mean, there's many ways to do that. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, like, where's the happy medium? I guess we're reaching that now. Remember that vendor that we went to go see? They're just touting SSDs and scalable storage with flash storage. But I mean, has it become an industry medium now? I mean, is it not? Is it? Quit clicking my face.
Industry medium.
Break the ice there. Hey,
No,
more
I
than
mean,
a casual
is it-
one.
Yeah, no, it is. But I mean, is it considered the standard now to go the SSD route, or is it still the best way to go with traditional hard?
SSDs are starting to be needed because of workloads, where you see a lot more I/O intensive workloads, and I think we need the speed in most instances. That's why, who was that we went and saw? They had a weird name. Do you remember, Taylor? That shows how much good their little meet and greet and free meal they did for us was.
Yep.
I know they're a competitor to NetApp. I know that, but I mean, who doesn't know who NetApp is in the IT world?
I don't know why the first word that came to my mind was syphilis.
Syphilis.
I think there was
That
something
is
about
bad.
their name that had something to do with it was similar to a disease, but not really. But I don't know. It was a funky name. I can't even remember. Maybe it started with a T. I don't know. That has nothing to do with syphilis, but
It's nothing to do with
it has nothing to do with that. But whatever. Oh my gosh. But anyways, I don't know. I think this is kind of a look what I can do kind of device. I don't think anyone's going to use this practically, especially when it has what looks like an LED light in the top right of it. Or is that just the pure sheen of the pure sheen of the drive?
Yeah, that's no. J.J. Abrams took that picture.
Lens flare here, lens flare there.
I need more lens flare, guys.
Oh my goodness, we need to move on from these SSDs.
Oh yes, we do.
Let's keep going.
So, I have 2 small form factor builds. I think one of our Critgamer admins is moving to small form factor build, and AMD has just dropped the price on their R9 Nano, which is awesome because it's only $500. You get a lot of performance for that type of graphics card, and you can put it in a really tiny place. So, I think that's great.
I think small form factor is going to be interesting. It's kind of odd that it's taken this long to get high performance.
I know.
In the small form factor. I mean,
it's crazy.
It'll be nice to have. It'll really help the micro ITX market because people want to go smaller now. You know, that's the thing. We want small, fast computers, and even the LAN goers. I mean, you look around at the computers, and most of them aren't that big. We've got a couple behemoths that people bring in.
No, I mean,
have to have a crane to. Well,
what was before is that you couldn't really have a small form factor PC because you had to compromise performance. But now that we have, you know, a lot of these different types of components that don't compromise the performance anymore, and you can buy a motherboard that the downside is you're going to have less RAM slots. Well, if you're just building a gaming PC and put 16 gigs of RAM and a good graphics card and a processor like an i5 and bam, look what you got. Got a small form factor. But
you're not even taking the hit on RAM anymore because I mean especially with Skylake, I mean you can put 32 gig and put 16 gig DIMMs in there. So in 2 slots you can put 32 gigs on a micro ITX.
Right. So I was talking specifically about gamers. There was a time where you had to compromise. Like, oh well, at the time, small form factor motherboards only support 4 gigs of RAM, and it's got an integrated processor on it. But now that's changed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that. You know, but
we're also too. You know, you talk about that. We get, you know, our efficiency's gone up, so. You know, the chips aren't running as hot, so you don't need as much room to separate the components to be able to disperse heat as well.
Right.
I mean, unless you're buying an AMD, which those things run stupid hot still.
Little furnace. I bet Kelby's happy that he doesn't have a little furnace anymore.
My computer is completely silent. And
has it lowered the temperature? Has it lowered the temperature at your desk?
Let me install Core Temp really fast.
Go!
No, it actually has. I think. I mean, my feet don't burn now, so that's
my feet aren't on fire. Normally they are.
Yeah.
So
normally they just burn. I have to clean them after every time. Let's see.
Oh my gosh!
Launch Core Temp. Ladies and gents, we have reached 38 degrees Celsius.
That is fantastic.
Lowest core is 33, so
nice, and that's with the stock cooler too, which Intel's really good about keeping their temps under control, even with just stock coolers. Which AMD, I think, is soon to step up their stock cooler. That's what I've heard. The rumor mill.
I want AMD to step up their game in general. I feel that they don't have a competitor to Intel really. I mean. Yeah, they've got a couple chips, but you want performance, you buy Intel. You want efficiency, you buy Intel. The only place where you buy AMD processor is if you're cheap and don't want to spend the money or don't have it. That is the only reason you buy AMD. You don't buy it.
But then again, we talked about that before. It doesn't pay for itself because the power consumption is just way off the charts long term.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have bought an Intel processor and paid a lot less in the long run, but I don't know. I still like AMD. I just hate that they keep decreasing their R&D budget over time. I think that their graphics cards, we'll see what this next iteration of cards brings to the table, but it's really, really hard to see how this is going to go.
Yeah, I mean they're even losing in that game too. That's one of their problems. They're not really. I mean, it's the same thing there. You want performance. You buy NVIDIA.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, another thing too, AMD is a lot more open as well. So with like the FreeSync and a lot of that, and I believe doesn't Linux like AMD a little bit more in terms of like the graphics cards? Don't they play a little bit? They play a little bit.
They're all
nicer?
worthless.
They're all worthless.
On Intel, I mean, none of them really support the only company I think, and I could be totally wrong on this, but I think the only company that actually actively does Linux development and does commits to the open source libraries is Intel with their dedicated GPUs, and that's just because they almost have to because of their server share.
Right.
They optimize everything to work on Intel on their stuff because they're so predominant in the server world. And if they ever didn't and step back, it would be definitely it'd be a chance for some of the little dogs to step up and say we support Linux better. People would start backing them over Intel. But
yeah. So major tangent.
yeah.
Speaking about the graphics card that we were doing, our buddy Linus here apparently made one that had 7. Yeah, our friend. 7 R9 Nanos that were liquid cooled. I was sad to hear that this didn't work at CES, just because I kind of thought this was a cool idea, you know. I really wanted to see.
The custom water blocks are really nice on that, though.
Yeah. And so one of our guys, Grant at the LAN, almost had his 2 gamers 1 PC set up similar to what Linus is doing here. And Linus did a video about 2 gamers 1 PC, so I was really hoping to see Grant successfully pull that off. But yeah, this is a pretty cool watch video. So I mean, everybody should know where Linus is. I mean, come on, it's Linus. Just go find him on YouTube. Another one that we can get into is I know we hit on Oculus last week before the LAN, but I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit more specific things, and then we also have the HTC Vive in part of our news segment as well, talking about that, and we'll kind of compare the two and see what we think. In my opinion, I think the Oculus is going to be a little bit more, what would you say, incorporated? Is that a word?
Incorporated?
Yeah, they're going to be pushing the Oculus. Like, Oculus's plan is to push Oculus, and it's not really about pushing other people's content, meaning like third-party stuff. So I mean, they have like their own VR menu, and they have all this Oculus branded stuff, and that's kind of, I think that's a little bit of Facebook in there saying, "Hey, man, you're a brand that we can sell."
No, are they trying to become the Razer of
I feel like they are.
The headsets?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, they're trying to be like the brand, the only one that you think of. Whereas the HTC, you know, they're partnering with Valve, and they really seem like we want to bring you VR, but.
And see, I think that's going to be Oculus's downfall.
Yeah.
To be honest, if they don't back the big horse, which is Steam, they're not going to make it.
And Steam, and this is why I'm pushing more towards the HTC Vive. Just it seems like they're putting less gimmicks up there for you, and just saying, look, here's a headset. There's controllers too, but you don't have to have it. And I know Oculus is doing the same thing, and that's why they held off putting the touch controls inside of the bundle, because they didn't want people to feel like they were buying something that they didn't have to buy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I can kind of see their trends. They're trying to do it, but I think HTC, I think they're gonna eventually pull ahead, just with the community overall, the people who are going to be investing in this.
And there needs to be competition in this space so badly. I mean, if we're only talking about 2 or 3 different brands, I mean, we've got Samsung, HTC, and Oculus that are really creating VR reality headsets, or sorry, virtual reality. But I mean, there really needs to be one of these guys need to step up and say, okay, here's the SDK, create content for it, do whatever you want. We don't license it to you. It's just completely open. This will explode. So whoever does that first and releases, whoever releases their stuff first to the market, just completely open, no licensing fees, no nothing, they'll be the one in front, I feel like. Because Oculus, they've done a lot of individual contracts with, like Steam, Valve. Valve has contracts with Oculus to create most of their stuff to be completely VR. But I mean, we'll just see what happens the next 5 years. Google, they want everything to be virtual reality in the future. Social media, they want to have an entire ecosystem built around this stuff. So
yeah, they announced that recently, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they released it. They released some kind of statement. I've got to find it on the web. But 2 years ago, they said that they want to create a social networking system like, what's the Second Life?
Second Life. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, but actually, they want to be able to integrate it with your brain senses, so you can just totally zone in like a Total Recall experience. So I feel like we're entering very dangerous territory with this, because I feel like people will want to be in the virtual world more than the real world.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's the same thing with like drug use and alcoholism. I mean, it'll just be a form of escape for people.
Yep. And you'll go to centers that are set up in the future that, like, come in for 5 minutes and you can be whatever you want to be for $10 or whatever. So I feel like
it'll be like the Rick and Morty video game.
Yes.
What was that? What was the name of that? Or you play as like the guy's life?
Rick. Or no? Yeah?
No, it's not Rick. It's someone else.
No,
what is that?
I can't think. Is it Randy? No. Oh my gosh, it's gonna bug me. What is that? Roy Simulator. Roy Simulator, that's right.
But I mean, on the price point of the Oculus Rift, I feel like in the next year we'll see refurbished units on the market for $300, $350. I definitely, because they're already working on 2. It's just if they want a succession plan for the first gen, then they have to be working on 2.
Yeah, that's a given.
But even the Oculus Rift, this version, yeah, they've made changes to it. But if this is version 1, this technology is already 3 years old. So, I mean, they introduced this back in 2012, 2013. And we haven't seen much changes. We've just seen general public release for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'd look forward. Just keep your eyes out, watching it and seeing. But I'm opinionated more to the HTC Vive. They had a really cool demo, with the touch and how they were walking around the whole room. It was pretty interesting at CES. So I'll just, it's kind of like we'll just wait and see till next year and see what happens. But yeah. Motherboards! Speaking of mini ITX stuff, I am privy to this motherboard. I love it so much. I just thought y'all would like to see it. It's a Z170 ROG.
Man, that sound card.
Oh man, yeah, it's way up there. But I have the version 6, and it's still rocking and rolling, no problems. So I just thought y'all should check it out. It's got some ridiculous stuff with it. It's really cool.
Oh, ridiculous.
I don't know. Do you guys see that manufacturers are really starting to focus on more of the look of boards rather than... I mean, they're more functionality, but I mean, this board looks nice. I like the organization of the chipset, the colors. It looks really good. Even my board, it has the little valley of red LEDs on it. I mean, it's very nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
it makes me want to get red fans instead of white ones now.
Yeah, it's definitely a sweet board. I just thought y'all should look at it. Just look at it.
Look at it.
Oh man,
Would you look at it?
No USB 2, so that'll be interesting.
We finally hit. Wow, that's a really expensive board.
Oh yeah.
What's the price? $250. Dang.
I paid $240 for mine, but man, they last forever. Like, really, they last forever.
That is really expensive. Oh, that's a comparison shot. Okay, makes sense.
But yeah, it's a sweet board. Andrew, I'm gonna let you take this one for a minute. You've probably heard about this. Is the Motorola is offering the bootloader to be unlocked for
one of their phones?
Yeah, but because they're not supporting it anymore, you know, how cool is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Motorola's really dropped the ball on a lot of stuff because they made an announcement a while back that they were going to be unlocking almost everything, and then they didn't unlock a bunch of phones. I mean, it's good that they're unlocking phones, but there's a lot that they should have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm mixed feelings about Motorola and their phones.
Well, you have it's actually not Motorola anymore. You have the Google Nexus 6P.
Yeah, not Motorola.
It's
Huawei.
Huawei, yeah.
Huawei.
I don't know. A lot of people like that they did this.
Yeah, I mean it's good that they're doing it, but I mean they should have done it from the start. What does it hurt them to unlock the bootloader? Like what are we saving them from? They're running an open source software on there. If the end user knows enough to go to their web portal and get the unlock code, that's what it requires. It requires an unlock code directly from Motorola to unlock the bootloader. What is the harm in letting the end user do that? If the end user knows enough to get there, unlock it, what are they protecting themselves from? I mean, I understand in a marketplace like when you look at like Amazon's marketplace. Amazon keeps it locked because they want to keep you in their marketplace so that they make their cut of the
cheese.
Yeah.
Slice of the cheese.
For a typical Android phone, if they unlock the bootloader, where's that hurting the person, the company that sells it?
And you know, I actually have a story about that. So my HTC One that I got back in 2013, I instantly put the Google Play edition of Android on it as soon as I got it because it looked so much better, and I like that interface a lot better than the HTC. I can't remember the interface that it had on it, but anyway, so my camera started messing up in the 1-year warranty period. I called HTC and I said, okay, I need my phone fixed under the 1-year warranty period. Well, I sent in the phone and they said, well, you've unlocked your bootloader and you put a custom ROM on it. I said, what does that mean? What does that matter? And they said, well, you voided the warranty doing it. I said, that has nothing to do with the camera because at the time I actually had they requested that I put the original ROM back onto it, and so I put the original. Gosh, I can't think. HTC Sense. That's what it is.
Sense,
HTC
yeah.
Sense
man,
UI.
yeah.
And so I put that back on there, and they said, "Well, we looked and saw that your bootloader was unlocked." I said, "No, I'm not paying for the phone to be fixed because of me changing the boot ROM." And so I waited a week for them to make a special exception in order out of the warranty period, or in the warranty period, but I voided the warranty by doing that. So I'm with Andrew on this. I think that if you're smart enough to do that, and I think it only enables the Android community. I mean, that's the whole point of Android,
Well, I mean,
rather than an iPhone, is customization.
You look at the devices that have good bootloader support, like Unlocked Bootloader has a ridiculous following with Android enthusiasts. So I mean, why wouldn't you enable draw the Android enthusiasts, the people that are going to be your evangelists towards your product? I'm a huge Nexus evangelist. I'm there I tell people. I told someone yesterday. I said, you need a new phone. The person has an iPhone 4, and I said, look, you need to upgrade. I know you don't want to buy a contract. That's why you've kept this phone for 5 years. I think he's had it 4 or 5 years. Look, buy Nexus 5X. If you're not set on the iPhone market, move to this. It's a great product. It's great support behind it.
Right.
I'm an evangelist for the product because it's a good product. But I wouldn't even consider something that didn't have an unlocked bootloader. I will not buy it. I don't even run a custom ROM on my phone, but I don't want a phone that I can't have that option.
Right.
And stock Android is really nice. It's extremely... I like it a lot. If I was to go that route, I would get a Nexus line phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with those points.
Do you really?
Sure.
Even though I have a Samsung Galaxy Edge Plus, which is like no.
I feel that you're just agreeing with us to agree. I think you should put in real comments instead of just being a pacifist like you are.
I agree.
I agree, I guess. No, I think it's cool that they're slowly going that way, Well, I was gonna get to this, but I'm gonna pull it now. Oh, it's our next thing. Anyways, okay.
You pull it.
I'm actually trying to buy something off a Razer, and the sale started at 8 o'clock tonight. And I had this keyboard in my cart, and all I had to do was press, review my order, buy it, and they're out of stock of what I was wanting to get already. Because their website is absolutely horrible right now. It is like insanity.
Let's take a second here to laugh at him, Kelby.
1, 2, 3. Ha 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 ha. Corporate laugh. Bah.
Look at all the traffic we've generated without actually having anything in stock.
No joke.
Poor Google Analytics.
I'm really disappointed because I wanted this keyboard for cheap, and now I can't have it because it's already out of stock.
It's all good.
Which makes me mad.
Actually, I've been to the Razer office before, and it's pretty cool in California.
Is that when y'all drove back across the world?
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. We were just driving around, and then we were like, wait a minute, this office park looks really familiar, and I didn't say that, but somebody in the car did because they've seen it before, and one of the social media guys, they started walking around the office park, and they were, this looks really familiar. And so we saw some of the guys that work for Razer, and we ended up talking to them quite a bit.
Did you did you drive back with Chance and stuff when he moved back?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were if that was the group you were with. I thought y'all planned that like to stop at
No,
Razer?
actually, we did not. And what was funny is that the guys said, you know, we never sit outside, so you guys seeing us like this was just totally random. It was really crazy. You know what? Let me pull up that picture really fast.
Yeah, it made me
But
so
we
mad.
can move on.
Like, I know that they're doing a sale and they're probably getting hit like crazy. But man, like, I was there at 8 o'clock and had it in my cart. And I was literally had to do one more thing, review order and ship to me. Oh, it's out of stock. Taking it out. Bye. Like, that
You know
is-
what that means? That's a sign that your wife didn't really want you to buy it.
Probably. But
Blame it
still,
on Valor, on the wife.
it just makes me so sad.
It's okay. It will come along again.
Honestly, I need to spend that $75 I was going to spend on that and probably go to Mass Drop and get me a real keyboard instead of this Razer crap.
You know, you should just, you know, get something decent like that one you've been borrowing of mine.
What? I
That
don't.
one that you-
Super passive aggressive right there.
I don't recall of this.
That's all right. I've got some, you know, got something here that I can just hold on to.
Hey now. Hey now. Don't be getting crazy with that keyboard.
Oh, it got crazy.
But yeah, let's continue on with the news. And this is actually Kelby's region here. I pulled this up for him because he has a GoPro.
I do have a GoPro.
So
And I enjoy it, and all I have to say about this is that the stock was too high already, and the product is not the only one on the market anymore, and there's a lot of cheaper alternatives that you can buy, like the Sony Action Cam, and
which looks really dang
You
good.
know,
yeah,
you say
it does.
that. You say that, but you know, I'm a technical person, and if I had to get a shock-resistant small camera, the only thing that I know of on the market would be a GoPro.
Yeah, I personally would not buy anything but a GoPro just because there's such a huge market for it already. There's millions of accessories that you can buy. It's very easy to open, to use, and a lot of people criticize the GoPro for being so expensive, but I
They're
would be
really
willing to spend.
not expensive though.
I mean, if comparable cameras, not action cameras, but let's say you don't use it for action stuff and you just use it for generic camera stuff and you just need something to record. Yeah, there's better alternatives, but this is the standard when it comes to doing stuff in life and recording it.
Yeah, but I mean, for the
I won't
size-
refer anybody to anybody else but GoPro, but I'm saying is that you can find alternatives to accomplish that
Well,
goal.
what's the low end GoPro? It's like $250, right?
No, the low-end GoPro now is $129.
Okay.
You can buy a GoPro, just
Are they
GoPro.
really that cheap?
Yeah, they are. It's crazy. Like when they introduced that one, it kind of killed all the generic competition a lot.
See, that's-
Yeah, GoPro Hero is
Wow.
$129.
I mean, that's dirt cheap.
Yeah, it's a good
That's-
camera, and it
see-
really is. It does 1080p at 30 frames a second.
So that goes back to my no, it does 30 frames a second. That goes back to the whole thing. Is there anything on the market that you say they're expensive, but is there anything that compares to that? In that price range?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though, is that look at some of the generics on Amazon. They'll accomplish the same thing, but like I said, I wouldn't refer anybody to those just because they're cheaper. I would tell people to get the GoPro just because you're getting a GoPro, and it's a lot better, in my opinion. The build quality is better, and you just have a brand you can stick by. I wouldn't buy like one that was built by a company like Light Dow or DB Power
Mobus.
or just the Chinese knockoffs. I personally wouldn't do that, but people can do it. I mean, the camera is $50, and you can accomplish 1080p at 30 frames a second.
What are you holding? Oh,
This is a Mobus. They're about $70.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I would just get a GoPro. Just don't get anything.
Yeah, especially if they're $100. I didn't realize the low end one was that
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
$129. Yeah, but I mean, they're really not that overpriced for a decent for the quality of the video they take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you really can't beat that.
Right.
right.
But then again, 1080p video recording is really easy to do with current technology. I mean, my phone's camera can record at 4K at I think 60 FPS. So.
I mean, that's what our intro video is. It's shot off the S6 Edge. It's 1080p, 60 frames per second. So I mean,
the market's there. It may not be in, cameras, in like standalone cameras for like GoPro and stuff, but they're just riding on the tail of the cell phone market. They're just taking the same equipment that the companies are putting in a cell phone, because all the sensors are made by a few select, camera sensor big dogs. But let's move on. What do we got next? What's going?
we've got phone. Sony Xperia Z5 and Z5 Compact will hit the US unlocked.
What's the pricing on that?
I want to say it's like $550 to $600 range. Oh man, I was close.
See,
Compact will be $500. But think about like the Nexus,
Yeah, the Nexus, the small one is $349, and the large one, what is the 6P now? Look that up. We have an article there about the 5X later. I think it ties pretty well in right here. The pricing of the 5X. The 5X is what, $349?
And the 6P is $499.
$499. Yeah. So I mean, compare that to this. How much was the high end Z5?
$600.
So it's $100 cheaper to get a Nexus branded device.
Yeah.
But this is a good phone, though. It's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does it have fingerprint sensors?
I mean, from what I've seen, it's a good phone, and it's compact and it's slate. It's not big 5.5 or 5.9 inch round crazy
The large
thing.
one is, isn't it?
No, it's 5.5. It's not as big as the Nexus.
So it's like 5.7 is the Nexus. So it's 0.2 inches smaller.
And I could be wrong, but I think you pay for what you want to pay for. I mean, I don't know, between the Nexus and this, if I were going to pay $100 extra bucks, I might want this. You get micro SD card support. Nexus
Micro
does.
SD card? Really?
Yeah.
They're not using their proprietary SD cards?
No. I'm telling you, this is it's a good phone. I mean, it's a high-end phone, yeah, but it's a good phone.
I'm surprised Sony's not using the
Pro 2 Duo?
Yeah, the Pro 2 Duo Mini or
Oh, gosh.
they're junk they like to do.
They did, especially with the PlayStation line.
Yep.
I've been surfing on the Razer store. They're like sold out of everything. It's just
Fantastic.
I was just meant not to have it.
Can you get a mouse pad? The mouse pad's sold out.
I bet you every product. I bet they're all sold out. Let me go look at mousepad. Yeah, internal server error.
Mine loads up fine.
Well, that's good for you.
I say
buddy.
that. I'm not. Maybe I'm not in the store. Yeah, I am. Let's see.
The
Controllers.
The Razer Firefly, which is a $60 mousepad. Yeah.
So
Man.
it's a $30 mouse pad. They're still making a fortune off of it.
But it's like LED and it you could like put it between your butt crack and make all kinds of colors, Kelby.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know you were into that, Taylor.
I so am. My gosh. You don't even know.
Mm.
You just don't even know.
So, did we get off track again?
Oh, of course. But I mean,
Yes, we have.
that's our whole thing.
All in all, buy the Nexus branded device. Don't buy something else if you're going to spend that kind of money.
Or go do your research, because this is a good phone, and it's for
That is true.
a market that people may like. Speaking of the Nexus phone, $350 starts it out. So that's probably why this is a better entry phone to get yourself into a nice device, because it freaking is nice.
This is to kill Motorola's offerings, in my opinion,
Yeah.
at that price point.
I mean, it's definitely a good phone.
Yeah.
It was originally,
I almost
and that's the
I almost
16 gig.
regret. I almost regret not buying the 5X over my 6.
You almost regret it.
I've had slight regrets.
Regrets.
Why? Just because of the size?
I don't know, like the pricing. I mean, that's so cheap for a phone compared to what I paid for mine.
I mean,
Compare-
the 16 gig is cheaper than the OnePlus 2. I'm pretty sure.
The way that I look at it is that if you spend more on a phone now, you're gonna have more of a resale value. That's not necessarily true in every phone's case, but I mean, if you buy, what did you get? The 32? You got the 32 gig?
Yeah, I got the base one.
Okay. So I mean, if you would have gotten the 128, it would have been worth a little more, or 64, it would have been worth a little more. Just, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
I guess I need to have no regrets.
Ragrats.
Rugrats.
Rugrats. Don't have any Rugrats?
Yeah.
So much Rugrats.
But yeah, I'm gonna save my $75 Razer. I'm gonna save it. You horrible.
Just buy you a poker.
Can you get a poker for 75?
They're about 90.
I'll just keep yours.
I'll sell you mine for 75.
Ooh. And it's already right. No, some of your one with the aluminum base for 75.
No, my aluminum base one. I've tried to mod my aluminum base one, and so it shorts out sometimes. So I wouldn't do that to you.
Well, you can just give me the base of it.
No, I paid 75 for the base alone.
I know you did. Anyways, there's some cool news about ESPN News. Sporty football, basketball, baseball is slowly starting to embrace the eSports with a dedicated gaming section.
Is that Dota or is that League on their screen there?
That's League.
Is it League?
It is League, I believe.
I couldn't
Well,
quite tell.
they should have done this from the very beginning. They've missed out on a ton of revenue doing what they did.
Haven't they had it in the past on like ESPN3 or something?
I thought they did. I feel like that was a thing.
I vaguely remember some esports. Maybe not the MOBA. Like, there's been nothing as big as the MOBAs are right now. There's like no genre, which blows my mind that this genre is so big. This MOBA genre, for there being so few of them out there. It's not like the market's over. It's not like a shooter where there's 500 different shooters. There's all of like 2, maybe 3 big genres.
Uh-oh, my team viewer timed out.
Oh,
Hopefully
how's our stream look?
I have no idea.
Nope, it's locked. You got a locked screen up.
Oh my!
Oh, everything's broken. Everything's broken.
So bad. Oh, so bad.
What happened?
What did you do?
Everything's broken.
Well, I think this is a good stopping point then. We put an hour in. I mean,
Wait, there's kind of a something.
this is so bad.
There's a double Andrew for you. Let me just.
I think we play our outro and let's call this.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
Good thing you wanted to make this one a casual one.
Yeah, a casual one.
Casual.
Just said that so that you would have the option to mess up like that.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
Are we stopping here?
Yeah, we're gonna stop here because it's 8:30.
Okay. Well.
I think we're at a good stopping point.
We like to keep it at an hour.
Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Whoever you are. If you didn't, then whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know that we had anyone. Nobody commented anything. We've had 3 viewers. Are we all 3 watching it?
I don't know. Who are you people
so.
out there? 3 of you. Whoever you are.
I'm watching it. Kelby, are
That's
you watching
all right. I am not.
You're not watching it, so
there
there's
is
one.
one person.
Taylor, are you watching the actual stream?
Yes, I am.
So we've got 1 viewer.
Hello, human being out there that is watching this.
Hello.
I think for your outro, we should play some human music.
Play some death metal music.
Maybe it'll wake them up.
Yeah, non-royalty free death metal music.
Yeah, there's my death metal. I'm just gonna play our normal outro. Do whatever.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see it go.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.